Welcome back to this week's edition of QB7. This week's list, best performances in a Super Bowl by a quarterback. Now I'm excited about this list, but it was very tough to put together, so I leaned on my producers for help. Check it out, here we go. Number 7, Aaron Rodgers. Even though they beat us in the wild card game, I still had to put AR on this list because he was one of the most dangerous men in football that year. Here's what he did in the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers went 24 for 39, 304 pass yards, 3 TDs, and 111.5 passer rating. He went on to win Super Bowl MVP, and they defeated the Steelers 31-25 to win the Super Bowl. A phenomenal year, and I'm sad that they had to beat us and go through Philly to get there. Number 6, Tom Brady. Now we're gonna do this one a little different. Even though in his best Super Bowl performance, he had 505 passing yards, but we can't put losers on this list. So what we did, we substituted for the victory over the Atlanta Falcons in one of the biggest comebacks in all of sports. So here's what Tom did in a winning effort. He went 43 for 62. That's a lot of passes. 466 pass yards, 2 TDs, and an interception that went to the house, by the way. He was a Super Bowl MVP. He led the largest comeback in Super Bowl history as the Patriots trailed the Falcons 28-3 in the third quarter. Set a Super Bowl record with 43 completions. This was the first overtime win in Super Bowl history as they defeated the Atlanta Falcons in Super Bowl 51, and it wasn't a good day for the Atlanta Falcons fans. Number 5, Drew Brees. You're talking about a city that needed it the most, needed a resurgence. Sean Payton, Drew Brees on the same page, went to the Super Bowl. Here's what happened. Drew Brees went 32 for 39, 288 pass yards, 2 TDs, and 114.5 passer rating. That's astounding in the Super Bowl. Drew defeated the Colts 31-17, and he did all this in the rain. I'm talking about pinpoint passes, finding his receivers, and being typical Drew Brees. It was a great game, and I'm glad I had the chance to watch it. Number 4, Doug Williams. Now this was monumental for black quarterbacks all across the world. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks in the zone, and Doug was definitely in the zone. Here's what happened. Doug went crazy. 18 for 29, 340 pass yards, and 4 touchdowns. A passer rating of 127.9, and was the Super Bowl MVP. Set Super Bowl records for most passing yards in the quarter and most touchdown passes in the quarter. Defeated the Broncos 42-10. Now, I remember watching this game as a kid, and honestly thinking John Elway was going to win the game. He always pulled out the upsets. But Doug Williams was in the zone, and I never seen a guy line up behind the center and look more comfortable in his own skin playing the quarterback position. Shout out to Doug Williams. He paved the way for all of us. Number 3, Phil Simms. He could have been high on this list, but in talking to my producers, we came to the agreement that he can be steady at number 3. Phil don't get enough credit, but he will after this. Phil only threw 3 incomplete passes in the Super Bowl, going 22 for 25, 268 yards, 3 pass TDs, and 150.9 quarterback rating. If that's not accuracy and confidence at its finest, I don't know what it is. He went on to be the Super Bowl MVP and set the Super Bowl record for completion percentage at 88% and passer rating at 150.9, and those records still stand to this day. Like I said, Phil don't get enough credit, but to New York Giants fans, he does. And one thing he can feel good about is all the major accomplishments that he had in his career, and this Super Bowl was certainly one of them. Number 2, Joe Montana. One of the best quarterbacks to ever line up behind the center, one of the greatest of all time, and he played for my San Francisco 49ers. Here's what Joe was able to do. Joe's numbers was off the charts. 22 for 29, 297 pass yards, 5 touchdown passes, and 147.6 quarterback rating, almost catching field. Super Bowl MVP, and becoming the 3rd player to win the NFL MVP and Super Bowl MVP in the same season. Only 6 players have done it all time. Joe went on to beat the Denver Broncos 55-10 in another Super Bowl that I witnessed and watched Jerry Rice, Roger Craig, John Taylor go crazy all across the field. Shout out to Joe Montana for being number 2 on this list and playing for my San Francisco 49ers. Number 1, Steve Young. This Super Bowl meant so much to me because 2 years prior, we couldn't get past the Dallas Cowboys. They beat us in 92. They beat us in 93. And like Steve said, we finally got the monkey off of our back. Now, still had to go out and win the game. And here's what Steve Young did. Man, my boy Steve put in work, going 24 for 36, 325 pass yards, 6 TDs, and 134 passer rate. Super Bowl MVP and set the Super Bowl record for most touchdown passes in the game 6, like I said. We defeated the Chargers 49-26 in Super Bowl 29. Now what I can remember about this day is me and my younger brother being in the room, watching this game on our 19-inch TV that we had got for Christmas a month before, which was a blessing, by the way, eating pizza and nachos and rooting for the San Francisco 49ers. Stan Humphries was at the top of his game, but Steve Young didn't let him get into a rhythm. Kept him off the field, we stayed hot, we won the Super Bowl, and Steve got the monkey off his back.